Namaskar to every one of you. Today's topic is RCEP. It stands for Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. This topic is slightly uncommon. Many of you may not be familiar to it. Therefore, I would like to go a little slow to assure you that each one of you can pick up the topic. At the outset, I must explain what exactly is RCEP. RCEP is a free trade agreement. It aims at creating common market for goods to be freely circulated from one place to other places. जैसे भारत का डोमेस्टिक मार्केट है, कोई भी चीज़ कहीं भी बनता हो, कहीं प्रोड्यूस होता हो, पूरे भारत में जा सकता है फ्रीली। पंजाब का गेहूं पूरे देश में जाता है, महाराष्ट्र का प्याज पूरे देश में जाता है। सीमाएं हैं, सरहद है, लेकिन रेस्ट्रिक्शन नहीं है। वन आइटम कैन फ्रीली मूव टू अदर पार्ट्स ऑफ द नेशन। ऑल दीज स्टेट्स आर द मेंबर्स ऑफ domestic market of India. Like that, RCEP also functions in the same way. Items being produced by any of the members can get circulated to other members also. यही concept है इसका. As regards the membership is concerned, RCEP is comprised of 15 members. Is India there amongst the 15? Answer is no. Why India is not there? This is the 30% of world population. All these 50 countries actually are the 30% of world population. Also 30% of world GDP. And this kind of market is flourishing in the Indian neighborhood. But India is not there. What India has to say? There must be some serious reason that India has opted out from the RCEP. What are those justifications? India says 3-4 India had made proposal, and all those proposals submitted by India was rejected by other 15 countries. What are the proposals? First proposal was the auto trigger principle. Auto trigger principle means that if at all you have the system of auto trigger, then you have the freedom to decide the amount of tariff. If any item is coming from China, from other countries to India, after a certain, if it crosses the threshold, India has the freedom to decide what would be the amount of tariff to be imposed on those items coming from China. चीन से अगर डिसाइड हुआ है कि 10 टन स्टील आएगा और 10 टन से ज़्यादा आएगा, तो इंडिया कह सकता है कि भाई उस रेट में आपका हम सामान ये नहीं लेंगे, हम इसका टैरिफ बढ़ाएंगे। When India had proposed auto trigger, they had accepted. India was very happy, but subsequently India came to know that they have accepted India's demand of auto trigger with ulterior motive. What is the ulterior motive? What motives they had? They in fact wanted कि even suppose if 10 tons of steel to be exported to India by China, then some more items China can dump into India through some third countries. China तो दे देगा 10 टन स्टील, बाकी और कुछ उसके पास स्टील पड़े हुए हैं, तो क्या करेगा? That China will sell it to Vietnam, sell it to Bangladesh, and Bangladesh will further sell it to India. तब इंडिया का कान खड़ा हुआ, ये तो इंडिया को घेरना चाहता है। इंडिया के बाज़ार में अपने छोटे मोटे साधारण सामान डंप कर देगा, और इंडिया के बाज़ार में इंडिया का ही सामान नहीं बिकेगा, क्योंकि इंडिया का सामान तो महंगा होगा। इंडिया का कस्टमर क्यों खरीदेगा इंडिया का सामान? सस्ता खरीदेगा बाहर से आने वाला। दैट वुड बी ए बिग लॉस ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया। देन इंडिया सेड ओके, if you have accepted one proposal, you please accept another proposal also. And that proposal India had submitted was rule of origin. Rule of origin stands for the compulsion for the country, wherever the item is produced, that country has to clearly mention made in China, made in Vietnam, made in so and so, made in so and so. When this was proposed, these countries said no, this is not acceptable to them. तब इंडिया की समझ में आ गई उनका इंटेंशन क्या था. तो ये important proposal submitted by India, they had not accepted it. That was the reason that India did not accept membership of RCEP. Some more factors are also there. Other factor that India's past experience with these countries. India already had free trade agreement with ASEAN. ये साउथ ईस्ट एशिया के जो 10 देश हैं उनके साथ एग्रीमेंट 2010 में हुआ था. And the result is that India is loser in terms of trade deficit. ये सारे देशों के साथ इंडिया का $26 बिलियन का हर साल लॉस हो रहा है. Trade deficit means that you have lesser export and more imports are coming to you. So whatever with the amount, difference of amount, that is the trade deficit. चाइना अगर भारत के साथ व्यापार करता है $85 बिलियन का, उसमें से $64 बिलियन का चाइना अपना सामान बेच रहा है, अब भारत से सिर्फ 18-20 बिलियन का सामान लेता है. ये जो अंतर हुआ दोनों का, वो ट्रेड डेफिसिट हुआ. और ये ट्रेड डेफिसिट इंडिया के लिए हो रहा है, इंडिया का लॉस हो रहा है. तो $26 बिलियन इंडिया ऑलरेडी सफरिंग फ्रॉम आसियान. $64 बिलियन India is having trade deficit from China. Japan also $9 billion. South Korea also $8 billion. And New Zealand and Australia also similar amount, around $7 to $8 billion loss on the part of India's trade deficit. So India had very bitter experience in dealing with the markets of these countries. India did not want to multiply the same problem in the future also on the head of India. So these are the factors that India decided not to be inside the RCEP as a member. Some more facts are there, like they had decided, they decided 2013 as the base point. Whatever be the amount of tariff at that time, that would continue. India said no, that would be loser. India would be loser. Because in the meanwhile, India's tariff has gone up. Another factor is also there that India suspected that these countries will not support the protection of India's intellectual property. बौद्धिक संपदा की सुरक्षा इंडिया नहीं कर पाएगा, उनके साथ जाएगा, तो ये बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर था. और चौथी बात थी क्या, दिस इज चाइना सेंट्रिक सिस्टम. यूएसए इज नॉट द मेंबर ऑफ आरसीईपी. यूरोप का एक भी देश इसका मेंबर नहीं है, ना अमेरिका है, ना रसिया है. नो डेवलप्ड कंट्री आर द मेंबर्स ऑफ आरसीईपी. सो चाइना इज द ओनली हेडमास्टर टू सेट टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस ऑफ आरसीईपी. And this is a well-known fact that what China will do against India. चाइना भारत का हित क्यों सोचेगा? जो भारत में जो टेररिस्ट काम कर रहा है उसको सपोर्ट कर सकता है चाइना, तो आप समझ लीजिए चाइना और क्या क्या कर सकता है. If you have the neighbor like China and Pakistan, you don't need any more enemies. So India is not in a position to change her neighbors, but India can get herself out of those forums where China is holding the power. When all the proposals of India, one by one, was rejected, then finally India had given ultimatum that at least 2 more demands India can submit at the end. If at all these 2 proposals are acceptable, then India thought India could continue with them. The first proposal was that India wanted to export them the services sectors. India is a competent service market. India's engineers, India's MBAs, India's expertise, India's graduates are competent. So India proposed them that India can supply these hands to you all so that they can work with your industry in your countries. हमारे यहाँ इंजीनियर बहुत सारे हैं, कॉम्पिटेंट हैं, बहुत सारे डॉक्टर हैं, बहुत सारे एक्सपर्ट्स हैं। इंडिया ने कहा ठीक है, अब कोई भी प्रपोजल आपने मेरा एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया है, कम से कम इसको एक्सेप्ट कीजिए, हम अपने आदमी को आपके यहाँ भेज सकें। उन्होंने कहा जब आपका आदमी हमारे यहाँ आएगा तो हमारा आदमी क्या करेगा, वो रिजेक्ट कर दिया। वन मोर प्रपोजल इंडिया हैड गिवन, दैट एटलीस्ट India wanted, in fact, to protect Indian farmers and milk product industries, because India is aware of the fact that milk market, milk products and farms are well organized as an industry in Australia and New Zealand. India said at least items like milk product and grains, farms product, should not be freely moved to India, should have some restrictions. भारत में क्या है कि यहाँ के किसान कोई 1 एकड़ वाले हैं, कोई 10 एकड़ वाले हैं, सब मिल करके इंडिया का प्रोडक्ट होता है। कितना इंडिया में अनाज हुआ। और जो डेयरी है, जो दूध का प्रोडक्ट है, वो 1 एकड़ 1 लीटर 2 लीटर 5 लीटर दे करके सारे गाय पालने वाले लोग कंपनी में जाके दूध दे आते हैं, और फिर ये यहाँ का इंडिया का मिल्क प्रोडक्ट तैयार होता है। लेकिन न्यूजीलैंड में और ऑस्ट्रेलिया में बड़े बड़े उद्योग हैं इसके, वो सस्ते रेट पर दूध यहाँ बेच लेगा आकर के, सस्ते रेट पर अनाज आके बेच लेगा। और हमारा जो अनाज है जहाँ के, जो कि हमारे ही किसान ने पैदा किया, यहाँ के कंज्यूमर नहीं खरीदेंगे। द मिल्क्स एंड मिल्क प्रोडक्ट्स being dumped into India by these countries, then Indian milk product industries would be ruined. ये भी उन्होंने नहीं माना। फिर तो इंडिया के हाथ में कुछ बचा ही नहीं था। There was no reason that India should continue as a member of RCEP. जो भी हो, but what is the reality now? India is no longer the member of the RCEP. India is not amongst the 15. Then what is the impact on India? There must be some impact on them also. That subsequently I will explain to you. But first I will explain what are the impacts on India, that India is not the member of RCEP. So there must be some adverse impact on India. What are those adverse impact of India? The first thing is that India is isolated from the market. As I said, 30% population and 30% GDP is a big market. For the namesake, it is regional, but in fact it is a global, it is a big one. It is the biggest free trade market in the world. India has got itself isolated from them. So this is the impact on India. Second impact is India is losing global supply chains. सप्लाई चेन है ही नहीं। आप क्या मार्केट को भेजेंगे दूसरे मार्केट में, मार्केट से आपके यहाँ आएगा सामान। The third, India may lose bilateral trade. These 15 countries would be interested to have their business within the bloc rather than business with India. So India has to lose bilateral trade with these countries. And one more is that India definitely would be underperformance, will affect India's quality of goods, quantity of goods, and competitiveness of the goods will suffer. The goods, if at all has no competition with other goods, standard of the goods has to be little down. Nobody will purchase your goods. One more thing, that by getting India out of RCEP, India has exposed her economic shortcomings. That India cannot work with competent countries of the world or the region as a team. India is not able to go along with the competent members of the team. That India has proved it by exposing her own economic shortcomings. Another thing, that India also has lost trust. India was integral part of the initial part of discussion, right from the years of launch, as I said, from 2012. And suddenly India decided, after 9 years, in 2019, that India is not interested to be there in the membership. Has India lost trust? No country will believe in India in future? That maybe, may not be. But this is also an impact. It's seen as an impact. Then, the another impact is that Chinese morale is very high. That China has the feeling that we have won diplomatic win. They have the feeling that China has defeated India diplomatically. China has forced India to be out of race. This China may have this feeling. China is already there in Ladakh. Now in diplomacy also China is a winner. They may have some feeling. There are some people, those who are citing these impacts on the part of India not being a member of RCEP. Then there are 4 largest economy in Asia. Out of 4, 3 are there. China is there, South Korea is there, Japan is there, and the 4th one is India, which is not there. ये कैसे होता है? 4 बड़ी इकोनॉमी उसमें है, 4 बड़ी इकोनॉमी में 3 है, इंडिया नहीं है. इसका क्या इंप्रेशन होता है? ये भी एक इम्पैक्ट है. और दूसरी बात क्या है कि आपका जो प्रोडक्ट यहाँ बनेगा भारत में, एक्सपोर्ट तो कीजिएगा, कौन खरीदेगा आपका? सो यू हैव लॉस्ट एक्सपोर्ट ऑल्सो, एक्सपोर्ट मार्केट ऑल्सो. Suppose if India's motive, purpose is to have आत्मनिर्भर भारत. आपके यहाँ उद्योग लग जाएंगे, सामान बनने लगेंगे, कुछ आइटम आपके भारत में ही बिक जाएंगे. जो रिमेनिंग आइटम होगा उसको एक्सपोर्ट कहाँ करेंगे आप? एक्सपोर्ट मार्केट इज डम्प्ड फॉर यू, इज क्लोज फॉर यू. So these are the certain implications on India, there is no doubt. And some of the implications out of 4, 5 or 6, 7, some of the implications are very, very serious in nature. तो ये सारी परेशानियाँ इंडिया को होने वाली है, होगी, लेकिन this does not mean that will be the end of India. India can fight back, India can survive, provided India go with some remedial measures. So what India need to have some remedial measures to fight back, to survive in the given situation. So 4, 5 remedial measures are there. First one is India must prepare her domestics shortcomings. India must improve the quality of goods so that such goods can compete with the goods of the other countries. India must need to have a global standard, a competitive items produced here in India. This is one measure. This is very, very important, required. Hopefully, Atmanirbhar Bharat will succeed and would be able to produce all such good items. Number 2 is India needs coordination amongst the ministries, departments. Foreign Affairs Ministry does not know what exactly is happening with the Ministry of Commerce, and Ministry of Commerce with the Foreign Affairs Ministry, vice versa. So, this is realized a serious issue. Proper coordination is not there, that has to be there. Third is India must focus economy rather than any other political agenda. And the fourth is that India must produce specialized bureaucracy. IAS officers are appointed. Initially, they become collectors. After some times, they used to go to Secretariat. Sometimes in Ministry of Foreign Affairs, sometimes in Commerce, sometimes in Home Ministry, sometimes in Finance Ministry. So they keep on changing. They know, they are aware of each and everything, but they are not the expert of anything. If you try to find an expert in foreign trade, you will not find it here in India. So experts must be categorized, that these experts are for so and so things, other are for so and so things. Some should be specialized in dealing with the foreign trade. These are the requirements. So if coordination work is properly done, if your bureaucracy is specialized, if India is in a position to produce a competitive goods, then India can rejoin RCEP. They are eager to welcome India even today. They have made a special remarks at the end of the resolution that door of RCEP is always open for India to come. India can go, provided India has the capacity to survive over there. Meanwhile, before India goes there, rejoin, meanwhile, India can try to have free trade agreement with Europe, with USA. As I said, Europe and USA are not the member of RCEP like India. They all can come to a particular common platform, can have free trade agreement for free trade market. These are the certain measures. If India at all go for it, India can fight back, India can survive, India will not be isolated, India will not be missing business chain. This could be done. Now at the end, who is loser? Is India loser? Does it mean that other 15 countries of the RCEP are gainer? It's very difficult to say. India may be loser, but they are also not gainer. When the RCEP was taking a concept, a shape, that time they had the intention to capture Indian consumer market. हिंदुस्तान का कंज्यूमर मार्केट दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा मार्केट है. इस कारण से भी बड़ा समझा जाता है कि इंडिया के पास वो प्रोडक्ट नहीं है कि उनके प्रोडक्ट को रोक पाए इंडिया आने से. इस कारण से भी इंडिया बड़ा समझा जाता है, बल्कि इंडिया की ये कमजोरी है. They had the intention, 15 countries had the intention to dump all these items to India. If India is not there, then main motive is not served. बहुत लोग तो ये भी कहते हैं हो सकता है कि आरसीपी चले ही नहीं. इंडिया अगर नहीं है तो सामान कहाँ बेचेगा वो? आपस में एक दूसरे का तो ऐसे ही बाजार भरा हुआ है अपने सामान से. तो हु इज लूजर, इंडिया और अदर 15 countries? You cannot come down to a concrete conclusion at this stage. Only future will tell us who is loser, who is gainer. This is a part of the game, economic game, part of diplomacy. It happens sometimes. There is no reason that India should be much worried for it. But India definitely should have the instinct to fight it back.